I've got to go get that other book because that book was real fucking good. I want to actually go out and get the physical book of it. American Heiress. I just read that about Patty Hearst. Bloodstains, cheap thrills, fast cars, fine wine. I've lost rich girls. I've lost my sense. I've lost control. I've lost my mind. The fucking book is great. They wrote many songs about her. There's a couple songs out there about her. As you know, the Misfits did She. I didn't know that till years later what it was about. Um, you know, she walked out with empty arms, machine gun in her hand. She is good and she is bad. No one understands. You know, she's got a rich daddy. She's her daddy's girl. Fucking great song. It's all about rich girls. And if you, and Hall and Oates, Daryl Hall and John Oates wrote "Rich Girl" about her. You know, you're a rich girl and you've gone too far because you know it don't matter anyway. You can rely on the old man's money. You can rely on the old man's money. It's a bitch, girl, because it's gone too far. You know, don't you know that it's wrong to take what is given you? So far gone. You know, the Miserables' last song was one called before there was Perez Hilton. We had a song called Paris Ramada. It was one of the most complicated songs I ever wrote because I was just sitting there one day watching the E Channel. I'm like, what if Paris Hilton? What if somebody, you know, what if the S.L.A. came and abducted Paris Hilton and she became a bad girl with a fucking machine gun and she never wanted to go back home because what's I mean, I hope nobody was offended by that, but I mean, there's nothing like a fucking rich bad girl. I used to have that sticker on my guitar. You know, good girls go to heaven, bad girls go everywhere. Bad rich girls go everywhere. Patty Hearst was the daughter of a newspaper mogul called Randolph Hearst was her father. And you know, before the fucking internet, before computers, before radio, even they had their money deep. The news of the world came through newspapers. And what happened was there was this organization with this prison guy started up a cell uh, called the Symbionese Liberation Army, where the leader was called Sinkyu. He was like born Donald DeFries, and he had a bunch of white girls and boys in his cell group. And what they did was they abducted Randolph Hearst's daughter, Patty Hearst, and put her in a closet, drugged her. They say that she was whitewashed, brainwashed, and there's got to be more to the story. But anyway, she started. She was sending communiques on reel to reels back to her father and back to the news outlets, and they're saying, you know, the FBI got involved, and the FBI was just like, they saw something funny in it too, but she started extorting her father by making him do free food giveaways in Compton and other parts of California. And it went on so long. It went on so long. She kept doing it. And the father would come on the news and he'd say, listen, I really don't have, I'm not made of money, regardless of what you think. I don't have any more money to give to, I'd like to help. And eventually she started sending communiques back saying, you know, mom, dad, I'm in a combat unit, a cell unit, um, and I'm not coming back home. Um, I'm going to stay she said, I think the FBI wants me dead anyway. I'm gonna stay with the S.L.A. And what they did, and not only did she stay, they started robbing banks. They started robbing banks of people she knew in her family. And back then, they only had cameras. They didn't have video cameras. They had black and if the teller hit a button, it would take a photo every 4 seconds. And it was on it was on the news, and they're like, is that Patty Hearst? That's where you got the beginning of Pulp Fiction. If any one of you motherfuckers move, I'll execute every last one of you. That's basically what she said. And they got photos of her in the bank holding an automatic M1 carbine with a raincoat on and a big wig, huge sunglasses, with a machine gun in her hand. You know what I'm saying? Robbing a bank. And they would do it repeatedly. Then they started making bombs and trying to do what the weathermen were doing. she basically got away, just straight up, not your ordinary garden variety criminal. She went all the way. She got away with it too. Did minimal time in jail. Um, got everybody else. Eventually, the FBI and the police just blew them to smithereens. They firebombed their house. They they did everything, and she did minimal time and got out and did all kinds of TV shows. She was in the movies. She was in Cecil B. Demented, about Cecil DeMille or whatever. And it was one of the greatest things that ever happened in the 70s. It'll never happen again, you know? And you can, if you don't know about it, you can look at that stuff on YouTube. They've got the communiques from Patty Hearst, Sinkyu, Phasia, and Tico, and a bunch of other people with these reel to reels that they would send back, and it was fucking awesome. Because somebody mentioned something, yeah, I think it's fucking awesome. I mean, that kind of shit don't happen anymore. You could see my favorite photo of her. Is she's like a Mona Lisa. She's so beautiful, and you don't know what she's thinking on her face. She's just got this. She could either be frightened or she could be, pursed lips, ready to kill. You don't. She's standing there in front of a seven-headed cobra, which was the S.L.A.'s logo, and she's got a goddamn. It looks like an AK-47 in her hand with a banana clip strapped around her, and I just remember seeing it when I was a kid. Like, that girl's fucking hot. Who is that? That's a very rich girl. That's a bad girl. That's a very bad, bad, bad girl. And she was awesome. For a long time, I had all her interviews on VHS, back when, because I had a VHS up until 2010. And I had a compilation I made with all Patty Hearst footage with her on talk shows, her talking on Larry King. And yeah, I mean, they just don't make bitches like that anymore. It was great. That book was really good. The book I read, I don't remember what it was called, but it wasn't the two books that are available. It was another one, and the cover kind of reminded me of the Night of the Living Dead thing. It had her eyes and her hair. But that was a bad, 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 bad girl. That's what happened. You got all these great songs, from it. Like yeah, like occasionally you'll hear a rich girl on the radio, and just you have to giggle because you just think of her with a fucking machine gun in her hand like that. It's a bad, bad, bad girl. I gotta go read the other one, I guess. But that was a good book. I had not seen that, nor did I know about it. American Heiress. It's fucking hot.